How's it going, everyone? So, gonna have Pallet on, who will be fighting at this next weekend. So I'll just get him in now. Hello.
Hello, mate. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Sound you okay, yeah?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, all good, mate, all good.
Good stuff. So I'll start where we usually start when we speak to someone for the first time. Where did you get your start in MMA?
I've been doing this for when did I start? Like 13, 14 years ago now. I just got into it as a hobby, to be honest. I didn't expect it to be a career. I used to play football, so I thought I wanted to be a footballer, and I didn't want to be a fighter. But yeah, just started training and started getting good. Quite a naturally athletic lad, so I just really went from there. And then yeah, started fighting like 2.5 years into training. But at the start, like I said, it was just a hobby, so I was only training once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it went, mate. Yeah, and the rest is history.
When was it that you started to give up the football? I mean, did you give up the football as you started to get into it more?
Yeah, I think I played football from when I was like 5 till I was about 16, 17, and then I just got bored of it. I think I just like, I don't know, it weared me out a little bit, and then I started looking for something different. And once I started the MMA, I didn't play football anymore. I played casually, but I didn't play for a team or anything. I didn't play weekly. But yeah,
Yeah,
kind of just went in. That was the progression. Just
yeah.
join the MMA.
I mean, I guess it added positives with like leg kicks and that,
Yeah,
that
to be
transition
honest,
over.
I guess so. Because yeah, a lot of people say I've got heavy low kicks. It probably is from the football, to be honest, because I'm used to kicking balls. But
Yeah,
yeah, it must translate. I've heard commentators say that. You know, like Jose Aldo used to play pro football. Kenny Florian back in the day used to be a really good footballer. They're two people with really good low kicks.
yeah,
But yeah, I guess it might transfer over. To be fair.
yeah. Be
And my
interesting to
shins are
see that.
conditioned too. My shins are really well conditioned, probably from going into 50-50 tackles all the time. So that probably
Dealing with
helps as
them
well.
studs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so obviously we talked about leg kicks there, but I'm assuming with this next one, it's because of the body shots. Where did your nickname originate from?
Uh, the nickname came from one of my someone I've known for a long time on the circuit, Paul Reed. He used to call me the Bodysnatcher in the gym because I was putting people down with body shots quite a lot. So I don't know. I went pro and just thought I need a nickname, and he was like, "Go with that." And it's quite a cool nickname, so I thought I'd just roll with it. But yeah, seems to be
Yeah,
working out. Seems to be working out all right. There's quite a few body snatchers though. It was a bit generic, but because it's been given to me by someone else, I wouldn't make my own nickname up.
yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
like the
You've kind of got to be given it, haven't you?
Yeah, it's like the unwritten rule, I guess, that it's got to be given.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, was there any other nicknames that like circulated at the time?
Someone called me the gent, but that's too
No,
soft,
it's
man.
the
The,
gent.
the gent, yeah, I can't be called the gent, can I? Can't be a gent in the cage. I can be a gent afterwards, but don't want to be a gent
Yeah,
on the night.
it,
There's a few more, but I can't remember now, to be honest. The body snatcher, the gent, uh, Bobby Dazzler, Bobby Dazzler, but Bobby Dazzler
yeah,
Pallet doesn't really have a ring to it, does it?
yeah,
So
yeah,
we went with body snatcher because it sounds a bit better.
yeah. I think it's hard to have the gent as an alter ego. You know.
I know exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Um, so let's talk about this one a bit then. This fight is the first time that you're going to be back at lightweight since 2016. So
Yeah.
this is it's like a two-part question. Um, First of all, why was now the right time to get back down to that weight?
Uh, I just feel like the last fight, I just gave up too much size. Like I was speaking to the guy I fought, Baki, uh, Basingur Shamsudanov, I think that's how you pronounce it. I was speaking to him after the fight, and he said he weighed like 86 something kilograms, 87 kilograms, and I was like 81. I was just,
Yeah,
I'm tall, I'm rangy, I'm long. I was quite big for welterweight, but like now it's just another level. Like I'm going to be. I used to make lightweight as an amateur, but I didn't do it right. To be honest,
yeah,
mate, the last time I made lightweight, we were all sat around eating shit in Hammer, and the lads were like, because I fought two times. I fought in August, and then I was meant to fight again. Well, I did fight again in September. It was a bit of a quick changeover. You know how it is after a fight. You want to get fat. You want to eat a bit of food.
yeah,
We're all sat around the table. I'm eating a 20 pack of flapjacks from Co-op or wherever. You know, your little Snapchat bite,
yeah.
the flapjack bites. Yeah, I was eating a tub of them, 20 of them. And someone was like, "Oh, are you fighting in 4 weeks? Go check your weight." I was 86 kg 4 weeks out. It's just ridiculous.
You know,
And now I'm 10 kg lighter than that, like with still a week left to go.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I just feel like I never used to do it right, but now I'm working with a proper guy, nutritionist, and a weight cutting guy, Charlie Mitten. So I've got it down to a T. Don't get me wrong,
yeah,
it's not been like completely comfortable because I've been in a calorie deficit for weeks, but it's worth it. I know I'm going to go from being undersized at welterweight to probably one of the biggest in my category. Well, I've had a
yeah,
DEXA scan done, and looking at, they compared it from the top UFC guys to mine, and I'm right on the borderline of like just about able to make lightweight. So I've got a lot of lean muscle mass. I'm tall. I just thought it was a wise decision because, like I said, gave up way too much size in that last fight and paid the price for it going into fight week at like 80 kg. And mate, didn't even do a weight cut. I was sat in the hotel room eating squares bars, fucking chilling. Do you know what I mean? And I know at
yeah,
this level you can't do that. Maybe as an amateur I could have. I could have probably done well at amateur at welterweight. But yeah, not at this level, mate. Not. I mean, looking at Ares, a couple of big wins on there. You're on the contender series, or you're fighting for a world title. I mean,
yeah,
the levels really stepped up. So I've got to be as professional as I can and make that jump down to lightweight.
yeah. You mentioned there about, obviously not doing it properly when you were at lightweight. Now you've got Charlie Mitten who's working with quite a few athletes as
Yeah.
well. How much, like, how much different has this transition been? Have you enjoyed it more now that it's being done properly, or
Mate,
how's it been for you?
yeah. Oh, it's so much better. Charlie's a top guy. Proper gent, checks in all the time. Anything you need, he'll be on your case. He'll help you. Can't recommend him enough, honestly. He's made this journey down to lightweight so comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, what was the question again? Sorry. What was the
Just
question?
how have you enjoyed this transition with mentioning that you didn't do it properly? How have
Oh,
you enjoyed it now, with all the
yeah.
preparation
Well,
there and stuff?
like I said, I've been in a calorie deficit for quite a number of weeks, so it's for your average person it'd be tough. But I'm dedicated. I'm a true professional, so it's been so much easier. Rather than starving myself the way I used to do it, I'd go 2 or 3 days without eating when I used to make lightweight. I'm still eating well. I've dropped the
How,
carbs today,
how,
but now I'm
how,
still eating
how
like
did
two
you
thousand
train?
calories. I don't know. I remember the last time I fought in lightweight, I was 76 point something kilograms the night before. And I was like, fucking hell, what am I going to do? Went to the gym, put a sauna suit on, went on the bike for about an hour, got a good sweat on, went home, did a bath, woke up the next morning with still 6 or 7 pounds to go. Just like, had a tiny little bit of espresso. And this was like, we watch the guys cut weight, don't we, in the UFC, won all these big promotions, and we just think, oh, if they can do it, we can do it. But they've got someone telling them, eat this at that time, drink this at that time. They've
Yeah,
got a professional helping them, whereas back then I was just like, oh, I'll just wing it, I'll be sound. But
yeah,
I had a really bad performance in my last fight in lightweight, so that's why we ended up going up a weight. Sean, my head coach, was like, look, let's just put some size on. You're tall enough, you're long enough, but I just don't think my body is made. I'm kind of like in terms of my physique, I'm like I don't know, I'm not the thickest, you know, like I'm like maybe like an Adesanya or a John Jones, like a really tall,
Yeah,
rangy striker. I'm not built to be like a big grok. Like the guy I fought
yeah,
last time
yeah.
was just like a little cinder block, and when he had him on top of me, I couldn't move him. And I don't think I'm built to be like that. I really struggle putting muscle on. Obviously,
Yeah,
we know people are fucking cheating left, right, and center in this sport. But like, unless I went on steroids, which I would never do, because what's the point? I'm going to get to the big time and fail a drug test. And to be fair, RX do drug tests, which is great. I love that. I got drug
yeah,
tested after my last fight, straight after. So unless I went on steroids, which I wouldn't do anyway, because it's fucking stupid and pointless and isn't going to help my performance, it's so hard for me to put lean muscle mass on and bulk up. So yeah, that was just. I feel like it was everything happens for a reason, and now we're down at lightweight. I feel like I'm just going to be a different level, different animal.
yeah. No, you mentioned there as well about giving up too much weight. Was that the biggest takeaway you took from that loss, or was the other things that you were able to take away from it?
To be honest, a lot of people messaged me saying you did really well because he's a phenom, man. He's smashing through
Mhm.
everyone, and I did neutralise him. Don't get me wrong, he held me down, and I couldn't really get up because he was so strong. But I did neutralise him pretty well. Landed a nice up kick from the bottom. Nearly had him in an arm bar. Did a little bit of damage on the feet, but we literally spent 30 seconds on the feet in 3 rounds. He just ragdolled me. He was a really good judo guy. But yeah, straight after that fight, I just got back to the change rooms, and my instinct was just saying, "Look, let's just do lightweight. Just do lightweight." Like, that's all I
Yeah,
could think in my mind was, "Let's just give lightweight a go," because I know this ain't for me. Like, I'm not a big welterweight. I ask people all the time on fight week, "What do you weigh?" And they're like, "Oh, lad, don't even ask, 85, 86." And I'm like, "Fucking, I'm like 81, eating full carbs. Like, I'm not
yeah,
big enough for this weight class." So it
yeah.
just went from there, mate.
You get some massive welterweights as well, don't you? Like
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
welterweights. It's
that's it,
crazy.
mate. And I've only been out muscled by one, the last guy. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. I just feel like it's just the right time now to do it, and I'll be huge for this weight class. Height and reach on pretty much everyone I fight. Typical, the
mm,
guy I'm fighting this time, I think he's about my height and my build, so it's basically going to be two big lightweights or two small welterweights fighting each other.
yeah.
So yeah, should be good.
When you went to welterweight, you said after that loss at amateur, did you intend to stay at that weight for as long as you did, or was it just because you were winning and doing so well at it?
Yeah, well, I thought that was it, and never making lightweight again, can't do it. But then I look back and think, was I dedicated? Did I do everything right? And I didn't.
Mm,
But yeah, I kept winning. I won my last two amateur fights, and then I won 6 on the bounce as a pro
yeah,
at welterweight. So I was 8-0 at welterweight with one no contest, and I lost my last one. So 8-1 as a welterweight. It's obviously a good record, but yeah, yeah, I'm
and
glad I've done it
that's
now.
not even doing it properly as well.
That's exactly, yeah, just like mate
Yeah,
winging it, not even cutting much weight, walking around light. Because I was hearing all these guys saying like, "Oh, you don't cut weight." You're like, I'm trying to think of a few names in the UFC. Like Frankie Edgar won the lightweight title and used to walk around about 160. Do you know what I mean? He was
yeah,
a tiny lightweight. He ended up at bantamweight at the end of his career.
yeah. That's it. Yeah,
Uh, so I just thought I'd give it a go, just being 100%. Because, mate, I've never been dropped. I've never been knocked down. Never been concussed in the gym. Never been hurt in the gym. And Sean was like, "How are we getting hurt in these fights?" And we were like, "It's
yeah,
the weight cut. It's got to be taking too much water off the brain, not doing it properly." So he was like, "Look, let's just see what you like at welterweight. Put some size on. Go in there, 100% fresh, not dehydrated, not diminishing your performance, and see how you get on." And it did work. Obviously, it was working. It was working until the last one. But
yeah.
yeah, I just feel like now is definitely the right time.
Listening to the body a bit more this time round, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, my
Yeah,
instinct was saying drop to lightweight, drop to lightweight. So
yeah.
it's definitely the right time.
Um, well, let's speak a bit about your opponent. He's on a 5-fight win streak. I don't think he on Tapology hasn't competed since 2020. What do you make of him as an opponent?
Yeah, it's a weird one because I've looked at some of his fights on YouTube. There's only a few fights, but he's been doing it as long as I have. But he's only had a
Yeah,
few fights.
yeah. There's some breaks in
Yeah,
his fight time, like, isn't he?
his debut was 2012, I think, as
Mm,
a pro, or maybe even 2013. But either way, he's been doing it as long as me. Looks like hard to say because there's not a lot of footage. He looks like he's more of a striker. Normally, you fight a Russian and you think he's going to be a wrestler, like a sambo
Yeah,
guy, but this guy looks more like a striker. But who knows? He might shoot. He looks well rounded. He looks like a good opponent, but he hasn't fought for 2.5 years. Whereas I've
yeah,
been relatively active. I mean, I had a 2.5 year gap due to COVID. One fight fell through on Bellator. But I've been a lot more active, and I've fought on the big shows, fought Bellator, fought Cage Warriors, fought Ares. This guy's fought in a ring on
yeah,
some small shows, so I feel like the advantages are definitely on my side. But yeah, he looks like a good opponent from a good team, Marseille Fight Club. So I've took him very seriously. I'm excited for the fight. I hope he comes to put on a show, and never know, we might get a little cheeky fight of the night, a little 10K bonus. Ares
yeah,
doing bonuses, so I'm definitely going for one of them. I don't come to put on a boring fight. I want to put on a show. Hopefully he does too.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right there with like having the advantages, as you said, you've been more active, and I think even when I had a fight, like a big thing for me was the environment, the crowds. No, you don't if you're not mentally prepared for that,
Yeah,
that takes away your focus. And I think if he hasn't been in that big space like you have with Bellator and that, there's a massive advantage.
definitely. I mean, I don't know. Everyone's different. Dominic Cruz has always said ring rust doesn't exist; it's only in your mind. But
Mm.
I don't know, man. Like 2.5 years out, and then I fought on Bellator in Dublin with about 7,000 people booing me. Like that was fucking hard to deal with. I was fighting someone
Yeah,
from SPG. That was hard. It definitely does exist. Like, how can you simulate doing that walk and being in the cage? You do it in the gym, but you're
yeah,
training with your mates or your sparring partners. I know, obviously, sometimes you have tear ups. You spar hard once a week, twice a week, whatever. But you can't simulate going in that cage in front of all them people on a big
yeah,
show when you step in that cage and the bright lights are on you. If you haven't done it for 2.5 years, you're just not going to be at 100%. I'm not
yeah,
banking on that. Like I said, everyone's different. He might come out there and look amazing in the first round. But from watching his previous fights, I know he definitely hasn't got the gas tank I've got. He hasn't got the kind of volume I've got. He slows down in rounds 2 and 3, or at least he did in his last one. And that
yeah.
last one he fought a featherweight as well. So I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. I know I'm ready. I'm going to find out if he's ready in a week next
That's it.
Friday night.
That's it. We're gonna find out, aren't we? So moving on, then mentioned Eris a few times. Just speak a bit about them. You know, you've been with them since last year. How's it been like working with them and fighting under their banner?
Who, Ares?
Yeah,
Yeah, a great promotion, mate. Love fighting for them. Honestly, I'm not just saying this to be a company guy. They are literally like they look after you better than Bellator. I'm not shitting on
yeah,
Bellator and all that, but they are great. You're well taken care of the whole time you're there. Um, Anything you need, they'll sort out for you. They even have like a big rehydration pack after you've weighed in, full of fresh fruit, ginger, like food in the hotel. Anything you need, you get. And obviously, they put on a great show. I think the arena is 6,000 capacity, and the 2 times I've fought on there, it's been full. So
yeah,
it's it's a really good show, man. It's up there with Cage Warriors. I'd say it's probably going to be in maybe the next year or two. I think it'll be recognised as like the big promotion in Europe. As
yeah,
the main feeder league to the UFC. I think it's
yeah.
definitely going in that
Definitely.
direction.
I mean, especially when it comes to the France, it was legalized, a few years ago, weren't it? So I think they are one of the big driving forces of that. I think being
Yeah,
a leader in it.
they've been missing out on it for years, haven't they? So now that
Yeah,
they're taking full advantage of it, and they're putting on a show like every month or every 2 months. And obviously they've
yeah,
got Cyril Gann involved. Cyril Gann's one of the promoters. His head coach Lopez Fernand, one of the promoters. They love and they want to build the sport in France, which is great. And even
yeah,
though I fought a French guy last time, well, he's French Russian. I still felt at home. I still felt welcome. I got a couple of boos, but it wasn't
yeah,
malicious. You know
yeah.
what I mean? They
It,
are
it,
good
it
people.
wasn't the Bellator booze.
No, no, that was another level, that mate. I couldn't even hear my walkout song. Fuck me. Sorry for swearing, but fuck mate. I was waiting to walk up on the
Swear away.
stage. Waiting to walk up on the stage, and they were like, "Come on." Guy with the camera there, the walkie-talkie was like, "Walk, walk, walk." I was like, "Walk? Where's my music?" He went, "It's on." I was like, is he? Walked out up onto the stage and all I could hear was boos. I was like, all right, lads. I am
You're like
Irish. I'm
that.
half Irish, you know. You're cheering for
Yeah.
an Italian guy. I'm half Irish here.
You're like that, and they're thinking you're just like taking it, and you're like, "Where's my music?" And
Yeah,
oh,
exactly. Yeah, it was a weird experience that. Honestly, man, I could
yeah,
not hear my walkout song. It was so strange. And then I watched it back on the iPlayer after, and like the music was dead loud. So I was like, "What?
they
Weird."
probably turned it up or something, didn't they? After,
Yeah, yeah. Turned it down in the arena and turned it up on the broadcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so just to sort of go back to France, then when we spoke to Mark Ewan, he mentioned how great it was in France. You know how it feels like the sport has literally been there forever. Do you share that same view?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the sport's been massive there. They just obviously have been starved of it for years because it was illegal for whatever reason. I don't
Mm.
know why it was illegal. But they are well-educated fans too. I remember the first time I fought on there, I thought I pretty much changed my style because I was better at grappling than I was at striking when I first started. But I wanted to be a fan-friendly guy, so I thought I'm going to get really good at striking so I can put on a show, and that's what your casuals want to see. And my
Yeah,
first fight on Ares, it was pretty close on the feet, to be fair. The guy was good. He was slick, good little Brazilian kid. He was only 21, aggressive. So I got him in the clinch, and I just thought I'll go for a takedown. I got a takedown, and the whole crowd erupted. So I was like, "Oh right, they want to see wrestling. I'll just wrestle.
yeah,
That's what they want to see. That's what I'll give them." But yeah,
yeah,
it kind of like in Pride, they'd be silent, and then you'd get a takedown or you do something good, and the whole crowd would erupt. It was a bit like that. It was crazy, but
yeah.
yeah. Normally, you'd think they'd want to see a stand-up
The
fight. They don't want
strikes
to see
and all.
grappling. But yeah, they are well-educated fans.
I think that's because like in shows like UFC, you still see fans booing when it goes to the ground. It's like it's part and parcel. It comes with the game. You know, enjoy all of it essentially. So it's good to hear that like they enjoy the ground game as well.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
You mentioned you mentioned Cyril Gane there. I've got a bit of dry mouth. Sorry. You mentioned Cyril Gane there. What's your views on his fight with Jones coming up? How do you think that goes?
Do you know what, man? He's a massive guy. I seen it. I got a picture with him the first time I was there. Went to put my
Yeah,
arm around him, and he's like, "Mate, I couldn't even get my arm. And I've got long arms. I got a long reach. I couldn't get my arm to his other shoulder. He's huge, and not only is he huge, I think he's probably the best striker in the heavyweight division. So that is.
mm,
I know he got took down by Ngannou, but if you're fighting someone like Ngannou who you would never expect to shoot a double leg, you're not training for that. So that
yeah,
kind of threw him off. I feel like this time he knows Jones is going to look for the ground and pound. He's going to look for the clinch, take him down. So obviously he'll be ready mentally because I've had fights where I fought a striker and they've shot a double straight away, and it's like whoa, it's like you don't expect it. Obviously you've
yeah,
got to expect the unexpected, but I don't know, man. That's a tough fight for Jones. He's not fought in years. His last fight against Dom Reyes, I actually thought Reyes won. Um,
mm.
and is that all that muscle and all that size he's put on? Is it conditioned like it used to be at light heavy? I don't know.
Well,
I really don't know.
according to him, like he's put on like 40 pounds, but he still looks the same. Apparently, it's like it's all went to his ass essentially. So it's like,
I don't know if I believe that, man.
mm,
'Cause I mean, I haven't seen any fresh clips of him, but I seen him on the pads a while ago, and he looked slow.
yeah,
For how amazing he is, do you know what I mean? Because he never looked slow at light heavyweight. So I don't know. All that muscle it needs conditioning. If you put all that muscle, 40 pounds is a lot of weight.
yeah,
Um, look, he could go out there and take him down and maul him in one round. You never know. But I think Gan is a very hard fight for him because Gan is so technical and so fast on the feet. He doesn't stand still. He's got a weird sort of like, almost like, he's not like Wonder Boy, but he's got that kind of movement. Do you know what I mean? Like he's fast and
yeah.
he's in and out for a heavyweight. Normally heavyweights plod and move slow, but he's really
Flat
fast on
footed
his
and that.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But Gan is like a point fighter, but has that knockout power. So I don't know. I'll be honest. I like them both, but I am rooting for Gan. I just think he's a better guy, to be honest. That
Yeah,
doesn't mean anything, but I just prefer him as a person. I think he's a nicer person, and I don't really some of the things John Jones has done over the years. I don't know, man. I don't really.
yeah,
He's an amazing fighter, but as a person, I don't really like him. Don't really respect him.
yeah.
Even the way
You
he was
feel,
with DC, you know, like all the behind the scenes stuff. When that time when he didn't realize he was on camera and he was saying all that shit, and then they went, you
yeah,
know, you're live, and he went, oh, oh, like, you know, like his little fake persona. But yeah, I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
I much
Uh,
prefer
you,
Cam.
you just feel he's a better representation for the sport, essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Being a
Yeah,
gent, being a nice guy, it just goes a long way. Like, there's no point being a cunt for no reason. Like,
yeah,
we're nasty guys in the cage, but you don't need to be on the outside. And don't get me
yeah,
wrong, if someone started talking shit, I'd love that. I've got a fast mouth, so if someone ever wanted to go back and forth, I'd love that because I used to be in an arguing on the pitch all the time when I played football, and I've had a couple of back and forths with previous opponents, got in the head before the fight. But if you don't provoke me, I won't do that. I'll be a gent.
yeah. So we're seeing now why the gent didn't stick as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Um, so last one for you then, mate. You posted a couple of days ago about Bodysnatcher 2.0. What can people expect to see from the Bodysnatcher 2.0?
Just a much more well-rounded, faster, sharper version of me. I just feel like I've lost a lot of fat mass and maybe burned a tiny bit of muscle too. But I feel so fast and just as powerful. My coach said yesterday, "You've lost weight, but fuck me, you're still hitting like you were at welterweight." So I
Yeah,
feel like I'm carrying that power down with me. And I honestly just think I'm going to stop a lot of these lightweights just from my size and strength and power. Because I've never been a one-shot knockout guy at welterweight, but I feel like I could be at lightweight now, especially with the
yeah,
reach. You know, when you hear people say like, you know, like that length, like the big punches are the guys with the long arms and stuff. And now that I'm in the right weight class, I feel like I can put people to sleep with one shot.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to showing everything I can do as a martial artist next week.
It's good stuff, man. I'm happy you got the nutrition down and you get down to the weight that you want to be at and showcase your skills there. I appreciate your time coming on and chatting with me. Wish you all the best come next weekend. I know you're going to do amazing, mate.
Nice one, mate. Anytime, man. We'll have a catch up after the fight, yeah?
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
Sweet, man. Nice to talk, bud.
Thank you. Ta, mate.
All right, mate. I'll catch you soon.
See you soon.
Right, lad.
There you go, everyone. Bobby Pallet, waiting on Eris next weekend, doing things right with the nutrition. Thanks, everyone, for jumping on and watching.